Imagine that you just want to express what you believe. Now, imagine having to spend more than a decade in court just to do that. That's what's still happening to Colorado cake artist Jack Phillips. He's been relentlessly harassed by the state of Colorado and an activist because of his beliefs. But our friends at Alliance Defending Freedom are standing by his side and they need your help. Join with ADF and be a champion for freedom. ADF is on the front lines defending Americans like Jack in court, free of charge, when their First Amendment freedoms are on the line. And for just $19 a month, you can stand with people like Jack too. So visit joinadf.com/B and pledge your monthly gift of $19 or more to ADF. ADF is committed to the long game of protecting freedoms now and for generations to come, and I am too. Are you? Because it's really important. Go join adf.com/B and be a champion for freedom with your monthly gift or any amount of gift today.
The Babylon Bee Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Babylon Bee Podcast. I am Travis Woodside, a person. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. And joining me today is Jarrett Lemaster, a man who has done a push-up.
At least one in his life.
At least one in his life. I cannot confirm how many.
Yeah.
And Brandon.
It's probably more than one.
It's me.
I'm
Brandon.
Are you still a Chinese man?
Today, I currently am a Chinese person.
Have you ever thought about changing your race?
I've thought about it, and I've...
Like within the Asian sphere.
I'm Japanese today.
Not recently.
Would that be an easier transition than, say, trying to become white?
I think the slant of my eyes needs to shift just a little, almost imperceptibly. But yeah, I could do it.
Okay. And also
Elective
Emma's
surgery.
here.
Emma.
I don't get an intro.
Emma.
That's your intro.
Emma, who always has a low-grade sense of anxiety.
Yeah. And a person who
Not
needs
a
no
disorder.
introduction.
Emma.
Emma.
Thank you.
Who needs no introduction?
I didn't do a push-up, and I'm not Chinese. I get nothing.
You could probably do more push-ups than all of us, though, because you are in Army.
Yep.
Are we allowed to talk about you being in Army?
We're allowed to talk about me being in the Army, not about anything going on, but
Okay.
Like, you can't tell us where you're going to go when you go.
I can't say anything until it's already happened.
Okay. But can you talk
Usually.
about things in the past?
Yeah,
Okay. So when
maybe.
General Custer, did his Custer's last stand at the Battle of Gettysburg,
Okay.
what exactly went into that thinking?
So, can you ask me something about the last 5 years?
No.
What did I have for breakfast last week?
Can you talk about things in
Nothing.
the past?
Correct.
I got it.
Anything in the past.
Right. So we're going to have a great show today. Going to have some news. We're going to talk about things we've been consuming, as all good Christians do, consuming material possessions. And we're going to have some hate mail. And I don't know, we might see Jared do push-ups.
Okay.
Push-ups or push-up?
Whatever you want.
Singular.
Push-up one.
All right.
We're probably not going to
Stick around.
Can do it. Stick around.
So yeah, stick around. Hit the bell. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Because if you like it, we'll know about it. So hey, let's start with the news today.
What's in the news this week?
What is in the news?
Yeah. Tell us.
Well, you tell me, Jared.
Okay, I'll tell you. This is actually a big deal. So Vivek is out of the race.
Oh, you mean
Vivek.
which race?
Ramaswamy.
The
There was
human
a-
race?
The human race.
race.
Out of the human race.
He is out of the human race.
He's out of the race, and he threw his weight behind Donald Trump. His significant weight.
Yeah, he looks pretty thin.
Yeah.
He looks
Oh, does he?
very fit.
He endorsed Trump right after Trump went after him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of weird.
It's kind of a beta move, right? It's like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Trump stepped on his neck, and he was like,
Well, on the other hand, it's,
You win.
He's very humble. I mean, that's a good quality too. It's like, you know what? Still, I would vote
No,
for you.
He
Well, I
wants
didn't know when
to
he-
be VP.
When did he not endorse Trump? He endorsed Trump while he was running for president,
That's true.
basically.
that's actually true.
He's kind of been endorsing Trump
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Because he's been running for Trump's VP the whole time.
Yeah, that's actually, I think you're probably right.
I don't know why Trump would go after him. It's unnecessary because he's so many points ahead of him, and he knows that Vivek supports him so much.
Yeah, and
I
well,
thought that.
so what did Trump say? He specifically said, "Oh, a vote for Vivek is a vote for the other side." Like, what
Didn't
are
he
you
say that
talking
about? Doesn't he say that about everybody?
Yeah, he does, but it's also not true because you're just voting for a Republican. This is a primary race.
Apparently, Nikki Haley endorsed Ron DeSantis after placing third. She said, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race. So I guess she's conceding that it's a two-person race between Donald Trump and
I guess so.
Is
Ron
she
DeSantis.
is she running,
Running
for the
for
VP?
Ron DeSantis' VP.
Yeah, I think she's running for the VP
Oh,
for Ron.
I don't
Oh,
think
Ron.
that would
That's
be
gonna happen.
Yeah.
So Trump got about, 51% of the vote. It was a huge blowout.
I mean,
And Ron DeSantis came in second. So Nikki Haley came in third, like you said. And all the way at number 4, with a shocking 0.7%, Ryan Binkley.
yeah, he got 7.
I didn't even know that Ryan Binkley existed before I read it on the screen right now.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason he's running.
Yeah, who is
so
Ryan?
that people can know.
Can we appreciate how neat and tidy the Iowa counties are? Look at that.
You know what? It's
I
funny.
know.
I noticed that when we were waiting. I'm like, what is this?
Although
Grid.
It's so
occasionally some of
perfect.
those lines are weird because it's like, oh, we're almost a square, but nope. Check out this personality.
Is there like a river or I don't know?
Yeah,
Or like those,
It could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
it's those straight lines up there, and then one county line's just a little higher than the rest of them. He's like, I'm taller than you guys.
A bunch of boxes, and then the middle section all looks like Michigan.
Here, see graphic.
Like little Michigans everywhere.
And so, yeah, and then MSNBC host Rachel Maddow told viewers that they would not air Trump's victory speech because of his, quote, lies.
Oh.
Like, oh no, I won.
What about
The
Rachel's
caucus.
lies?
Does she have any?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she does. She's fake news, but,
This is what she said.
So yeah, what did she say?
Emma, you should read it because you're a woman.
At
Is
this
Rachel
point in
Maddow
the
a woman?
evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech, Maddow said, without directly mentioning Trump by name. We will keep an eye on that as it happens. We will let you know if there is any news made in that speech. If there is anything noteworthy, something substantive and important.
Now, is she saying that we
She
will
wouldn't
filter
even-
any information that comes from Trump so that you can know what to think about it?
Correct.
Isn't that what she's
That's
saying?
basically what she's
She
saying.
just said that.
She wouldn't even say Trump by name. She's like, the winner of today is talking over there, but I'll tell you about it if I feel like it.
Yeah. So can you
Yeah.
say what Joe Biden said? Because you're a man and he's a man.
I can. Joe Biden said, looks like Donald Trump just won Iowa. He's the clear front runner on the other side at this point. But here's the thing. This election was always going to be you and me versus extreme MAGA Republicans. It was true yesterday, and it'll be true tomorrow. So if you're with us, join us now at True International Depression.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, just
It's you and me,
Extreme
Steve,
MAGA
against
Republicans.
the MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, you and me. It does make it sound like it's
Yeah, it's just you.
the president and
He's
one
talking to other
person
guy.
against the world. So
But since Emma read the words of a female and I read the words of a male, I think Jarrett needs to read these next words of a wrestler.
Oh,
I think you're
okay.
quite right. So
He's
yeah,
still around.
moving on to the next.
All right, so
story.
wrestler Hulk Hogan helps rescue teenage girl trapped after Florida car crash.
Wow.
Oh, would you like to be saved by Hulk Hogan?
I would love to be saved
I think
by
that
Hulk
would be
Hogan.
pretty amazing. Be like, I'm in the arms of Hulk Hogan.
yeah, he's like a
He's going to pick you up after.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He picks me up out of the car.
And he can hold his breath for like 20 minutes.
and he is he's 70 years old and he's still
He's
like
still doing fine.
he's moving it. So
Yeah, he's definitely replacing his testosterone.
yeah, so a retired wrestler and a friend. So he wasn't alone.
And a
Rescued a teenage girl who was
Oh,
trapped
I thought this was still describing Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, retired wrestler and friend.
and personal friends of me.
Friend, father, husband,
and a friend of his.
Hulk Hogan.
So he rescued a teenage girl who was trapped in an overturned vehicle that overturned in a crash in Florida. So overturned vehicles, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
And he used a ballpoint pen to puncture the car's airbag and free the girl.
Oh my gosh,
She
I thought it
trapped.
was. I thought I was gonna say he used a ballpoint pen to perform a tracheotomy.
I thought that was.
my
That would have
gosh.
been.
It was like
And she would have killed the girl. That would've been
I've seen it in
awful.
shows. It works.
It does.
Yeah. So,
Actually, apparently, it does work.
so what did Hulk Hogan say on
He
the
said,
Twitters?
"What does he
In
say?"
a Hulk Hogan voice.
How did
please.
he sound? I'm trying to remember.
Hey brother,
Hey, brother.
we're Hulkamaniacs.
We got it.
The crazy part about the teenager that flipped her car was that without a knife to puncture the airbags to get her out, a Indian Rock's Christian ballpoint pen came in really handy to pot the bags. Thank you, God. All is well, even now. Amen. HH.
So I like that he's of a generation that signs his tweets.
After an amen.
Just so you know,
Amen.
my name's
HH.
HH. I wonder if that's how he prays.
But
Hey,
I do
thanks,
love
God.
that.
HH.
I do love that so quickly after Hulk Hogan being saved, he's saving others. Literally.
Literally and figuratively.
When did he
maybe.
get saved? What's that story?
I don't know if he
He-
just got saved, but he
He got
recently
baptized in the last year. Yeah.
I thought it was like 10 years ago he started talking about God.
Well,
Okay, maybe he
started
was saved
talking
a while
about it,
ago. He
but-
just got baptized then.
for all I know, he was
If we're
starting
Catholics,
his journey. We don't
if we're
know.
Catholics, then he just got saved very recently.
But we're not.
Because
Because we're
baptism,
Christians.
baptism is
Sorry.
essential to justification. Sorry,
Well,
Captain.
But counterpoint,
Mhm.
what if it is?
Yeah. Well, then we're wrong.
Well,
Then the Protestants are wrong.
protest. Well,
Have you followed Hulk Hogan's career closely? Like I was
I was
enamored with him as a child, but I don't think I've
the same. I was enamored with Hulk Hogan.
Enamored's a good word.
Into his eyes.
personally or on the TV screen. Just
Yes. And I also was a big fan of his movie, Suburban Commando, co-starring Christopher Lloyd.
is that the one where he held his
Yeah.
breath for 20 minutes underwater while rescuing a woman?
That is a thing I have not heard of.
So that's not a real thing he can do. That's just from a movie.
Oh, I'm pretty
Well,
sure that's not a real thing anyone
Well,
can do.
he did it in real life for the
How
20
long-
minutes.
what-
Tom
what's the
Cruise
record
did 6
for-
minutes, and that's like the most any
Right.
actor's ever done.
That's a long.
No, I
time.
think Kate Winslet broke it in the
Titanic?
Avatar. No,
Oh.
the second Avatar movie.
Oh, really?
Because they kept her underwater, even though the whole movie's CG.
That's an interesting
You
factoid.
heard it here first.
I was a little bit enamored with Hulk Hogan as a child too. He was always my favorite WWF guy, and I didn't really know any of the other ones except for
Yeah.
Rowdy Piper.
Mm.
I think that was the only other
Yeah, I
one.
didn't watch wrestling.
Piper.
I didn't like all the side soap opera stories in the background.
Mhm.
That wasn't
all
entertaining
the
to me.
B wrestling enthusiasts are in the control room right now.
But I did enjoy like watching a match because just stuntmen going at each other. It's kind of fun. Sometimes the matches are really slow, and then you're like, "What is
Yeah.
this?"
I imagine it's way more fun live.
Maybe
watching it on TV.
or maybe it's more annoying live
Maybe
because you're
it
around
is.
a bunch of wrestling fans.
So annoyed.
I don't know. Emma,
picture
who is your
Travis.
favorite wrestler?
I don't know any wrestler at all.
Well, you know Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Is
then
he your
Hulk-
favorite by default?
He's my favorite.
What about Gravedigger?
So
know
consensus,
that.
I
Hulk
like
Hogan.
the Undertaker.
The Undertaker,
dude.
Gravedigger's the monster truck.
Oh yeah, a monster truck can wrestle too. There's nothing in the rules that say a monster truck can't wrestle.
Nothing in
There
the
may
rule
be
book.
some rules that say that. I think though. I've gone to monster
I
truck
would-
rallies.
I don't know. Have you
I would
read
wanna
the
drive 'em.
WWF rule book?
Never.
It doesn't say anything about monster trucks not competing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
or dogs.
Or dogs.
Emma, who is your favorite monster truck?
The green one.
Gravedigger?
Is that Gravedigger?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Gravedigger is the black one.
I don't
It's
know.
like a hearse.
My favorite is Bigfoot.
I was like the shark.
Just
I
a
didn't know
shark.
they were famous.
I don't know what it's called.
They're famous.
The Megalodon.
There's famous monster trucks.
Yeah, there are. In fact, the monster trucks are the celebrities. If you go to these things, people just love these monster trucks. There's Gravedigger, Gravedigger Junior. There's a Bull Rider one, not a Bull Rider.
There's really Gravedigger Jr.
Toro. Yeah, there's like
funny
a
to me.
junior.
Totoro? So he said,
El Toro. El Toro.
oh,
Yeah, not Totoro.
Totoro.
Yeah.
No,
Totoro.
no.
Named after a Studio Ghibli character or the Spanish word for bull. Yeah.
The Studio Ghibli monster truck. Yeah. So Emma, what else is happening in the news?
So the U.S. bombed Houthis in Yemen. That's how you say it, right? Houthis?
I think so.
Houthis?
Sure.
It's not the
Um,
Houthis.
Where is Yemen?
It's in the Middle East.
Can you name 3 provinces in Yemen?
Nope.
Why are you bombing them?
It's an Iranian-backed militant group that has been causing issues over there for people who do not know.
Mm.
And so this was a good thing. I thought it was a good thing because it was U.S. showing strength in the Middle East, and I feel like we haven't really been the country that's, seen as strong recently. So I saw this as a good thing, and then all of the B's headlines were anti-bombing.
I know. Well, I mean, technically, they were all anti Nikki Haley and how excited she was about the bombing, which didn't happen. It was just a joke.
Oh, okay.
It was more about, oh, Nikki Haley's all excited about this bombing. But yeah, I mean,
I'm
they were
excited.
attacking, as far as I know, they were attacking ships in the Red Sea, and then we're like, no, don't do that.
Stop
Yeah.
that.
Like it is still important for US to be the superpower because then somebody else is going to step up. And if Iran steps up and they become the superpower, it's going to ruin everything for us and a lot of other places. So this was not just US, this was a coalition force.
Do you think, though, if Iran, I mean, this is an interesting philosophical question. If somebody did step up like in Iran and they started doing all kinds of crazy stuff, the United States isn't just going to sit back on its heels and allow this to happen. Eventually, they're going to come after them.
Well, if we elect somebody who's an American isolationist like Candace Owens and they're in office and they don't interfere because they don't want us to be involved with, international conflicts, then I do think that if Iran does step up and they're taking over that whole area, it's going to be too late for us to do anything. Like you can't just wait for that to already be accomplished and then you want to get involved.
Brandon, do you have strong feelings about Yemen?
I do not. Honestly, I'm staying quiet on intentionally because I don't really know the story very well. However, according to our notes, one of their slogans is God is great, death to the U.S., death to Israel, curse the Jews, and victory for Islam. So I think I don't have problems taking a side against them if that's one of their core beliefs.
They mentioned like killing people more than how great their God is. Like when you think about that slogan again, if you only mention that God is great once, but you mention death, death, death.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I know.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a good thing that they were put in place unless they retaliate, but I don't think we've seen that yet.
Well, I mean, they vowed to retaliate, but I mean, what's that going to be in their eyes? Just doing more about what they've been doing, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I don't know.
Exciting.
I took it as a show of force. Maybe I was excited like Nikki Haley, which is apparently a bad thing, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, so a lot of people are making jokes about Nikki Haley. We've been making jokes about Nikki Haley at the expense of Nikki Haley. So how do you guys feel about like intervention in the Middle East in general? I kind of get a sense that we're okay with it when warranted. This seems a little more warranted than other situations, but
I'm not a complete non-interventionist libertarian. I do think we are probably involved in more conflicts than we need to be.
Sure.
But I'm not for removing ourselves from the world stage entirely because I think global politics does affect us.
I have this sense that we have a responsibility just because we have the power. Like it's like we have a it's like Spider-Man.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I think I wouldn't go that far. I understand the position, but I think if it affects us and if we could trace how it actually affects us as a country, and it does for many countries. I'm not sure about the Middle East. There's a lot of various conflicts going on there that are way too numerous to comprehend.
Yeah, that's probably true.
If we shouldn't be there, I don't know what the alternate solution would be, because I've met a lot of people who were deployed right after 9/11 and were there, and a lot of people like they should be the people that are mad that we went if we were over there for false reasons, supposedly. But a lot of them were not mad about when they got there and what they did. They weren't mad about it. They thought like they helped that area. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it tends to be that there's like a mix. Like I remember back when America was, attacking Iraq for the so-called weapons of mass destruction, which I guess we didn't find. But there was a mix like of news reports coming in sent with the Iraqis going, "Oh, this is so great. We're glad America's here." And then there was a mix of people going like, "Ah, America's Now, and it was all filtered through at the time I was in college, and I have a lot of professors going like, "Oh, this is so terrible. These poor Iraqi people." And I'm like, "They look happy. What's the problem?"
Look at that guy.
So there's a mix.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
People
like-
on the ground with different opinions, just like here, we all have different opinions.
But
Like,
again,
what would it look like if we weren't there at all? Like, they took us out of Afghanistan completely, besides the Americans they felt like leaving behind. And then, like, the Taliban took over, and it's just, the lives for the women and the children there are not better than they were
yeah.
a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I just worry, like, what is the solution? Like, when everyone's like, oh, there should be like, Israel should stop fighting Hamas. What is the solution there? There's no solution.
Well, obviously I don't agree with that Israel should stop fighting Hamas. If somebody's going to keep poking the bear, obviously they have to get smacked down
it's just-
eventually.
I don't think there is a solution. I think it's biblical
Yeah.
conflict that will not resolve until the end of the world.
Until Christ returns and the kingdom is here. I do wonder about that.
And the
Well,
moon
the
has turned
kingdom
to
is
blood.
here.
Well,
The church kingdom.
Yes, we see
When the moon has turned
we
to blood.
see in part.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I do
The blood
think
moon rises once again. All the enemies come back to life.
Yes.
Like,
Just
like in Zelda.
just
Exactly.
like that. Just like that.
exactly.
That's good.
Speaking of Bible,
And now it's time for the Babylon Bees Bible verse of the week. Amen.
Oh,
what's our Bible verse of the week?
We
that's
have a
right.
Bible
we have
verse of the
a
week.
very special Bible verse of the week. Jared, would you like to read
Yeah,
it?
I'd love to. Okay, Romans 15:13. This is in the King James version.
The only infallible translation.
Mm.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Okay.
13. Now, the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing that ye may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Ghost.
Good. I mean, that's good. I agree.
Agreed.
Agreed.
May abound
Do
in
you
hope.
agree or disagree, Emma?
I would say hype.
Hype or not? That's right.
That's funny.
I do like the King James version, the Holy Ghost. That translation
Do you?
instead of Spirit.
You like
I
it
don't
better than
say
Spirit?
I don't say it's. I don't mean it's better than Spirit. I just think it's funnier. Like, why is that? That's such a weird translation.
It is a weird but you know what? That was the ghost meant spirit and spirit meant ghost back then.
I mean, I guess technically they are synonyms. It's just that we use ghost as a more I don't want to say modern because it's been hundreds of years, I'm sure. But you know, the idea of like, oh, I'm a haunted king in a castle. That's a ghost.
Ghost has more of a
Not,
human.
the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Ghost. Yeah.
Mhm.
The spirit, and a spirit is, something beyond that. But it's interesting. I was just reading R.C. Sproul today, and it talked about joy and peace, talked about the fruit of the Spirit and how the indwelling in the presence of God brings the fruit of the Spirit, and joy and peace and love are actually the three that are the most profound, and then hope is the result of that. So this is just Paul reiterating that whole concept. By the Holy Spirit, we receive joy, peace, hope, love, and then all the other fruit of the Spirit.
And this has been the Babylon Bees official Bible verse of the week. Says President Biden's first day in office, his administration has pushed policies that embrace abortion on demand, silent speech, and even redefine what it means to be male and female. Join with my friends at Alliance Defending Freedom and be a champion for freedom today. You can help hold the Biden administration and all government officials accountable to the law. ADF is on the front lines, challenging this administration's unconstitutional actions in courtrooms, legislatures, and the public square. They represent everyday Americans like you and me in court, free of charge, when their First Amendment freedoms and God-given rights are being violated. But they can't do it without your help. Just $19 a month will help fuel the fight to protect our freedoms. That's just 63 cents a day. Less than a comic book. Visit joinadf.com/B and pledge your monthly gift of $19 or more to ADF. Is your freedom worth 63 cents a day? That's all it takes to help defend freedom now and for the next generation. Go to joinadf.com/B with your gift today.
It's time to consume!
Consume! I shall consume all things and become all things and absorb their power. Jarrett, what have you been consuming?
I've been reading. Oh, this is interesting. I'm reading a series of books. I just started the series called Black Autumn. It is basically an apocalypse scenario that is very realistic. Starts with a dirty bomb in Saudi Arabia.
This is fiction.
It's fiction.
Okay.
But it's a realistic scenario that, and immediately, there's another dirty bomb off the coast of San Pedro. And it just shuts down the United States because there's no access to energy. And then the food storages go away, because we only have about 4 days of food on the shelves available to the American population at any time. So after 4 days, all the food's gone. And then people just start to starve. So 2 weeks later, everyone turns into a crazy person. They're stealing from each other. And this is actually kind of realistic.
Well, that's what happened to Jerusalem.
When?
Well, not recently. I mean,
when was that?
I mean, when the Babylonians surrounded it, and then everyone was starving.
Right.
They ate their babies.
Their babies and bird poop. Those are the other two things.
I don't remember the bird.
Yeah,
poop.
they ate like bags of bird poop. They would eat them.
Where did they procure these bags?
That was in 2 Kings. I don't know. It's probably like a bladder.
You go to the bird poop depository. Obviously,
it was 2 Kings 7 or somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a really great story though, and the show Homestead is based on this series of books, which is I'm very excited about that. So,
any exciting people we know starring in Homestead?
I don't know about starring.
Oh, okay. Leading roles.
I do know. I do know. I have a name in the show.
Leading roles.
My character's name is Rick Baumgartner.
Where's that show gonna air? Is it already out?
It's in the theaters first. So it's the first 2 episodes are going to be in the theaters probably in June.
Now, is it an Angel Studios production?
It is an Angel Studios production.
Okay, so they're doing the thing like they do with The Chosen, where they have like a limited theatrical release for like the first episode.
That's
so
right.
have you been to Angel Studios?
I did. Yeah, I went.
They all walk around with harps and little halos.
There's angels. Yeah, everywhere. There's just
all employees. That's their company uniform.
Like Gabriel's at the front desk. He's like, "Hey, welcome to Angel Studios."
I thought he'd be in the mailroom because he's the messenger.
No, that was Michael. Michael's in the mail. They could switch jobs.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. It was cool, and the studio itself is really cool. It's like when you go downtown to LA and there's like some cool studio with corrugated metal and wood
made out of gold,
brick. No, the streets are not paved with gold. Oh. You would expect that, but no. It was in Provo, which is like LDS Central.
It is.
Yeah. It is. It's like where they're all at. So anyway, so I'm reading that book series. It was great. That was a lot, but you should read it. It's really good and terrifying. So, yeah.
Well, I love being terrified.
Yeah.
Speaking of terror, Brandon.
Yes. Well, I've been watching a lot of Korean shows lately.
Scary.
Yeah. So scary.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's crazy.
So, they've been a lot of fun, and it's really interesting taking a type of
anthropomorphic,
what's the word?
Anthropological,
anthropological dive into like seeing how they act and the turns of phrases that they use.
Do you ever hear chugale?
I do.
All right, I
do. It's very common.
If you guys don't know it means do you want to die in Korean?
But it's a common like phrase that they use. It's a threatening,
like,
threatening, but slightly also not entirely serious. It's just like a.
Sometimes we're serious.
What are you talking about? Huh?
What you talking about? You want to die, dummy?
Yeah. I wish I knew how to say, but did you die? Because I think I would use that a lot more often.
But did you die?
Yeah. So I've been watching like Korean variety shows and The Master's Son, which I really enjoyed. And
I had a picture in my mind.
Yumi's Cells.
Variety shows. I had a picture in my mind of The Wheel of Fish. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly that. And the fire hose, drinking from the fire hose.
What about that show Wipeout that kind of started as a Korean show?
I applied to get on there.
It started out as
the American one.
The original one was so funny, dude. Like it was
it was English.
Maybe it was Japanese.
Yeah, I thought it was an American show. It started off as
it's a ripoff of either a Japanese or Korean show.
As all good things are.
I wanted to get on that show so bad.
People got so hurt.
I thought I would.
My wife
very gladiatorial.
auditioned to be on it.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't make it.
I have friends that went on it.
Really?
Korean friends, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
In America?
In America.
How did they do? Were they okay afterwards?
They're both deceased now. No, not really.
From the opposite.
You want to die? Go on Wipeout. I had a friend who went on. She messed her back up.
Oh no!
Terrible. Ouch. On the show. Yeah.
I guess that makes
Did they
sense.
pay her for it?
I believe that they are healthy
I don't
currently.
think
I've
At least
seen
from the
that show, and you see people getting really just annihilated, and you're like, oh, hilarious! They must be fine. So that's sad.
Well, they add the fun music, and then
Yeah, and they
you're like,
usually add like
oh.
a cracking noise when someone like.
There's like
But maybe
Or
they
it's like
didn't.
a doink.
there's like a
you know.
that lettuce sound when you get a punch in a
Yeah.
Indiana Jones movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that show's on anymore, is it?
No, it's not because I looked it up to apply again.
Oh,
And
sad.
it's not. It's no longer.
Oh, because it fell
It's
off.
no
of an
longer
obstacle.
Among Us.
It's no longer.
All right. So,
Huh.
in truth,
Yes.
your truth,
Yes. My truth.
what is this actual Korean variety show you're talking about?
Oh, they're just for instance, there's one where basically a Korean comedian and like some other Korean celebrity guest, they'll just walk around Seoul and they'll ring random doorbells and ask people if they can come in and have dinner with them.
That's a good
And
idea.
every once in a while they do. And they went into this house of this guy who was a retiring pilot, and he was talking about his life and how he's been married for 40 years. And I was watching this and I was like, this is the most wholesome television show I've seen in a long time, where they're just sitting down with a person. He's talking about his life and his kids. And yeah. It
Wait,
was,
so there's no joke? It's just they're doing.
well, I
this
mean,
and
they're
it's-
like reacting in
Yeah.
funny ways, making jokes on the side. But it's interesting, like getting to know these people and seeing who they are.
It's interesting.
Also, there's another variety show where Jack Black was on it, and they put a pair of headphones on him, and they would play a Korean song for him, and he would have to communicate it to them, and they would have to guess what the song is. And obviously, Jack Black does not natively speak Korean, and so he would be like, and they would guess what the song is.
Oh,
Jack Black's so funny.
he's
Fantastic.
funny.
Did
I
you
bet
see
he'd
it?
be good at that too.
Did
He
you
was.
see
He was
that?
very good.
That there's like a viral short where he does that kid's saxophone.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. He's on Jimmy Fallon or something, and he's like doing that. Then the band starts like coming in, and anyway, don't trust me. Go look at it. Go see it. It's way better.
So let's go around the room and say one nice thing about Jack Black.
I like Nacho Libre.
Mm.
You know what? I like Nacho Libre. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me, which is actually how I felt about Napoleon Dynamite. At first, I was like, I don't get it. And then it just more and more it sinks in. You're like,
Yeah.
I get it now. Or I think I do.
I do very
Every-
much appreciate all of his vocalizations in the movies that he does. Vocalizations.
I think he's exceptional. Like he's a really exceptional brain. He's got a really smart brain.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite movies of his is School of Rock. I
Yeah.
think that's a fantastic modern classic.
I very much like School of Rock, but I don't love putting kids in precarious situations, and the movie did.
I do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's you.
Like how he kidnaps
You and
them
Michael
all?
Jackson.
No, like making kids swear or making kids do tell sexual jokes.
Oh, yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
don't usually like that either.
But hanging him out of like a hotel window is probably okay. Like Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
I forgot he did that.
My image, I remember the first time I had ever
It's in
heard of
Germany.
Jack Black, it was in a commercial for the movie Orange County,
Oh, yeah.
starring Tom Hanks' son, I believe.
Mhm.
And
Colin.
the way that they advertised the movie was you get to see Jack Black in his underwear. And so for,
the Orange County movie, right?
for many years, I thought to myself, I do not want to see Jack Black
yeah.
in his underwear.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
This is not a selling point to me.
Did you guys watch Orange County? Did
I
you?
thought it was very boring, actually.
It was kind of like a mid movie, but it was good. I mean, there were some good moments. And the song by what's his name? California, California, here we go.
Oh, Mr. California, of course.
No, it's
Robert
it's
California.
the actor from the Royal Tenenbaums. What's his name? The young guy.
Ben Stiller.
No, he's in
Owen
everything.
Wilson.
No, he's in everything.
Hackman.
No, he's in all of those movies with Wes Anderson.
Oh. Jason Schwartzman.
Jason Schwartzman.
Oh.
He was the lead singer of that band,
Mhm.
or the drummer of the band. Can't remember.
Emma, what have you been consuming?
So Mark and I have been watching Reacher.
Oh,
The Babylon Bee article recently made me think of it.
yeah.
Not
Season
for that
one?
reason.
Did you
Season
have
1
to
or 2?
Season 1, because
It's better.
so Mark's seen it before, so we tried to watch season 2 together, and we were watching the first episode, and he was like, "I don't remember the show being this gay," Like it's just so dumb. And then
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what?
then we watched the first episode, or
It's
then
not
we.
very well written.
It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of out there. And then we watched season 1. I was expecting it to be much, much better.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, is this guy autistic?
Yeah.
The
He's
main
yes.
actor?
super autistic. So
Yes.
we're not watching it in the frame that he's like PTSD written or whatever and quiet. He's just autistic.
Yeah.
He definitely has Asperger's or
Well, the
something.
character Jack Reacher is kind of Asperger's. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole point. Lee Child's character.
Yeah. And I'm
I
like,
didn't get that from the Tom Cruise movie.
No, I don't think
No.
Tom. I don't think Tom.
I don't think
Cruise
Tom
did.
Cruise
No.
can play autistic.
No. I don't think he could either. He's
Like, but Tom Cruise would be okay. The
New
whole
challenge, Tom
character
Cruise
is that
be
he's
autistic.
like this giant, muscular beast of a man,
Mhm.
and he's autistic. So
Mhm.
Tom Cruise couldn't play that guy. He's shorter than everybody else. He's a small, tiny little man. He'd have a great personality.
He's Jack Reacher.
Oh.
He'd be on like high heels the entire show.
I
Fun
think
fact.
he did.
Fun fact. My wedding was shot with the same camera as Jack Reacher. Not the same model, the exact camera, the same camera.
Your wedding?
Yes.
Fun
So
fact.
Well, how do
the
you know that?
DP was your DP.
It wasn't the same DP, but it was the rental from the same rental house, I believe.
Interesting.
Now, do you know it was that exact?
It was the
camera?
exact same
So it's
camera.
like this is the Reacher camera. It was like
The
a piece
Reacher.
of
Well,
It was the
I'm
same
sure they used many
camera
cameras
from a
on Jack
different-
Reacher. It
Yeah.
was one of the many cameras.
that they shot.
Correct.
So your wedding was professionally shot.
Nice.
My wedding was shot on a combination of Canon DSLRs at the time,
Yep.
one Arri Alexa and 35 millimeter film.
I think mine was shot on an XL2. That's how long ago it was.
Your wedding was shot on film for fun?
Oh, that's fun. How interesting.
My wedding was shot by the Avatar 3D camera that James Cameron invented.
But also, we had the wrong anamorphic lenses on the Alexa, so it ended up being stretched out to like a 3-to-1 ratio. It was insane. It was insane.
That's crazy. Jack Reacher, though, I think you're right, and he is autistic, and I think Tom Cruise was the wrong cast
It's
for
the
sure.
wrong cast.
He was
yeah.
looking for another. He was looking for another. What do you call those?
Action vehicle.
Yeah, it was just one that he could just crank out a bunch of
Like,
action movies.
maybe Henry Cavill
Totally,
would still fit into that.
but he's
Big
only
and
like 6
autistic.
feet tall. I don't think Henry Cavill is even big enough.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't
But-
have to be
yeah.
exactly that character, right?
I mean, he looks huge in Mission Impossible only because Tom Cruise is so diminutive.
yeah, he does look huge in that movie.
He does.
Well, then that's easy. So Henry Cavill as
Coolest
Jack
move.
Reacher and Tom Cruise as every other character.
Yes,
Nailed it.
I like it.
So I have been consuming Sonic Frontiers.
I'm surprised.
I know, very on brand for me.
Did Kyle get that for you? Is that
No, I wanted to play it.
I've never played I've never finished, I should say, a Sonic game. I've never played more than like a level or two.
Yeah,
I've picked it up before
You
at
don't
like
have
the
to.
dentist's office, but I don't think I've ever.
you would be fine if
gotten
you
into
never did.
Okay.
I think Sonic the Hedgehog is charming. He
Mm.
loves chili dogs.
Oh,
Sonic Frontiers.
does he actually?
I feel like that's
Yeah.
not in it.
like
no, it's
Son-
not in the game, but it's
Oh,
in the
okay.
movie
But
and the TV show.
is it because of
And the comic book.
the fast food restaurant Sonic
Yeah,
that sells chili dogs?
No, it's
is
not.
that based
That's
on?
the Coney Island hot dog.
Got it.
Is it Coney Island?
Isn't a coney
Is
just a
Sonic
chili
related to Sonic the Hedgehog?
dog? Isn't a coney just a chili dog? Aren't they synonymous?
Kind of. It's just it has a type of cheese and some onions on it. I
It's
think.
it's like a Philly cheesesteak.
Well, no, it's a hot dog.
Well, I know, but how Philly cheesesteaks are?
Well, if a Philly
Associated with
cheesesteak was
Philly.
also chili, but it's not.
Okay.
Oh wait, I see what you mean. You're saying
I don't even know
That's-
anymore.
it has, okay. I mean, you can eat a Philly cheesesteak anywhere, but the best are in Philly
Mm-hmm.
So I was.
because
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the origin.
As we're gonna go off on some food, I want to hear from
Well,
Brandon.
I don't want to draw this out too long. Too
Do you
many
have-
too many
What are you gonna?
diatribes.
Are you gonna hate on
Oh,
Philly
no.
cheesesteak?
Not at all. I was okay. I'll say it real
Why
quick.
do you hate Philadelphia?
We were Amy, my wife and I. We were driving from Virginia to New York, and we were driving through Philadelphia. So I thought to myself, "Oh, we should probably stop and get a Philly cheesesteak while we're at it." And so I
Was this your
started
first time?
researching it. I started researching where to go,
Mhm.
and I ended up finding a place that people said was the best.
Mm-hmm.
but it was in New Jersey.
Oh,
So I had my Philly cheesesteak in New Jersey instead of Philadelphia.
oh, sad.
Oh, you made a mistake.
Yeah, so I went to the famous place that's across the street from the other famous place, and they
Yeah.
both like claim to be the
Starbucks.
best.
Yeah.
Starbucks, yes. And it has this like plaque on the ground. It says Rocky stood here because Sylvester Stallone. Rocky. That's
Mm-hmm.
The
Philadelphia.
actor who played Rocky.
Its entire identity is built around a fictional
I
character.
know. I
It's-
love it.
I do too. I love how they have the statue up there.
Yeah, I do too.
And that they've incorporated it into the sequels. I think that's so funny. But,
Donkey's Place. That's where I went. Donkey's Place.
it's called Donkey's Place.
It's called Donkey's Place.
like a burro, a donkey, an actual animal that you ride.
Or
They're
a
like,
small
you know
burro.
what people will love
A
when they think of
burrito?
food? Donkeys.
Burro.
A burrito is a small burro. It's a small
Is
donkey.
that why we eat? Are we eating donkeys?
Just small donkey.
What were you gonna say about your cheesecake or cheese?
My
cheesesteak?
Philly cheesecake. Just that it was good,
It was good.
but it was the only one I've ever had. Well, I've been to Philly's Best, and
Is it Philly's best?
is it really? But it was the first one I ever had, and I was like, you know what? I don't normally like the cheese whiz, whatever. I just don't like that. I like real cheese. But I was like, this is how they make it. I want it how they make it. So I had a standard Philly cheesesteak with the cheese sauce and onions, and it was the heaviest thing I've ever eaten. I ate the whole thing. It was good, but I was like, oh man,
It was the
I
heaviest
am
thing.
dead now.
hmm
I literally am dead.
The heaviest thing I ever ate.
Came back as a ghost.
And now I'm a ghost.
Every
Full
time
circle.
when I was a kid, I went to every like greasy spoon I could find, and I would eat chicken fried steak, and
Yep.
that's the heaviest thing.
Wait, is
that
Greasy
I've ever
Spoon
eaten.
a restaurant or a phrase?
Yeah, like it's like a type of
It's
restaurant.
a descriptor for a restaurant. It's
Yeah.
a restaurant that serves very greasy food.
I have never
It's like
heard
greasy,
Never heard that.
usually breakfast
You're from a
food.
different
Yeah, a
generation.
lot of breakfast.
This must be a California
Brandon's
thing.
wedding was shot in film, so
Yeah.
from an older generation.
Mine was shot on an XL2.
and DSLRs.
Mm-hmm.
It's another time.
It has been like 20 years. I just got to say for me.
Yeah. Was your wedding, Emma, was your wedding shot on anything? Is there video or
There's a short.
Is there proof that it actually
video.
happened?
can you confirm, do you have a marriage certificate? Were there
Yeah.
witnesses?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, was there actually video or?
No, it's not a whole video.
Yeah. We didn't do
It's just
video
a
either.
tiny little
in
thing.
all seriousness, we just did photos.
Well, I didn't do a traditional wedding.
Did you do
I
like
dressed up and I went to a courthouse.
Oh, you didn't do like a Jedi master like marrying you or something, or an alien?
That would also not be traditional.
That's not
so-
traditional. That's what I imagine. Or Elvis.
We
like
did
Elvis.
take photos separately.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, I kind of still want to take other wedding photos. Like
You
keep
should.
the outfits, go
Oh.
to the Grand Canyon.
It's never too
go-
late.
You know,
Yeah, it's-
and just pretend that this is where we got married. So,
That's,
like,
that'd be amazing.
yeah,
I
In
mean,
the
a
Grand
lie,
Canyon.
but amazing.
it's never too late
no one will ever know.
to take your wedding photos.
Lies aren't sin if no one ever knows.
That's
They never find out.
it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
It's a shame.
So, let's close out Consume now that we've not talked about Sonic Frontiers.
Consume. I keep thinking of Barsoom.
Bar-
Barsoom. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No, it's what
All
you're
right,
saying.
you know.
America,
50s?
do you understand what Jared's
No,
talking about?
it's from the Queen of Mars or the Princess of Mars. John Rice Burroughs. No.
Oh, okay. I know that.
Yeah, John Carter.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar.
Yeah.
Edgar. Thank you.
Would
Yeah.
you call him John Rice Burroughs?
I did.
think
I
he's
know what
thinking of
John. I know.
Carter,
I know what John.
Carter.
I know what John Burroughs.
I
That's
like
why- yeah.
John Rice Burroughs wrote Edgar Carter.
Yes, that
My
was the
favorite
name
series.
of Mars in the.
Barsoom.
Yes, I remember now because I
Ah.
saw the John Carter movie, which was
Barsoom.
I have not seen it,
okay.
though Taylor Kitsch was in it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Taylor
Taylor
Kitsch. Am I weird?
Yes.
Yes.
I
So
like him. I think he's good anyway.
on that note, let's move on to hate mail about how weird Jared is.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford.
I really miss Adam Ford.
Actually, all of these hate mail segments or messages are in response to our absolute banger headline. Trump promises Vivek an administration position running the White House 7-Eleven.
This is one of those.
So, first of all, Matt Binder
Matt Binder.
from X. He says, Vivek, racism doesn't not exist. The Babylon Bee. Oh, here's this sweet headline. Absolute banger headline. So he's basically saying the Babylon Bee is racist.
Yeah.
Can you read the next one, Jarrett?
But yes, I will. But Vivek never said racism doesn't exist. Do you guys know that quote? Anyway, there's a whole thing.
I don't remember.
He explains it. Look it up. Okay, so from Kyoto Zoomer says, this is literally how I find out that Jews run the Babylon Bee. I want to know who they are.
That's an interesting
I don't know what
take.
that means.
Because we said something, edgy about Vivek, therefore we're
Jews.
And it's a joke
Must
about
be.
a stereotype, and then so they're basically being like, you're racist. You must be Jews.
Because
Which
we-
is, wait a minute, be racist? Like what?
Because it's a funny headline that we're Jewish.
This next guy says, the replies are filled with people just now realizing that the Babylon Bee is racist.
And it's showing that meme of the two astronauts.
Wait, they're just racist?
Always have been. Where does that meme come from?
I don't know.
It looks like I'm not going to say what it looks like. It looks like the Filipino flag on their shoulders. That's what
Oh, well, only on one of them. One of them is
American.
American, yeah.
So someone else responded, so is the joke that Trump values him so poorly that he only sees him as a clerk at 7-Eleven, or that you think he's a clerk at 7-Eleven because of a tired stereotype about Indian people?
So what's the reply to that to Tim Young?
So it says, the real reason people have picked their ears up at this joke is because they know that the Babylon Bee genuinely has a problem with Vivek because he wants to defund Israel.
Good thing Generalissimo Snake knows us so well.
I don't even know about Vivek wanting to defund Israel.
We literally have a president in the White House who said it in a non-really jokey way.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
With a slight Indian accent.
You're right. That wasn't racist.
Followed by, I'm not joking.
I know, literally.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
No joke.
It almost takes effort to not understand the joke and to conflate it with actual racism. It almost takes effort. So I applaud them for putting in the effort, at least.
Well, thanks everybody for listening to another controversial episode of the Babylon Bee podcast. We'll be back in the future at some point. If you dream about it, it will happen.
And Ghost Travis will haunt you in your dreams. That's a
Yes,
promise.
That's true.
That's a Babylon Bee promise.
That's a Babylon Bee guarantee. Boo.